All right, so Master Mason note. Let's go Team Bluestone Militia. Right now I need you to be with your 42edness. And I am your 42edness right at the moment. Could be somebody else, could pop around in the middle of a conversation. There you go, you said something. Larry said something, he did it. Inside of here, I like to talk about this subject matter like it's a general store. See, I just hit my lunch break, go grab a Red Bull and do things. And so this is a heavy duty topic, man. You gotta remember, when we start into this, let's start E2 with the manner and say this is basic gravity. This is what you can do, that's what the sights are, that's what I have as a person that does wood splitting. And somebody comes in and crew and it says, well, I will sell you this for time and space relative to the YF over X bits that you do. And so as you look inside here, it takes a little bit of time, say 10,000 hours on the regular books, about 5 years, with or without overtime, approximation, cherry, ash, veneer, X. Dimensional analysis, exit to say, between here and there we'll make the adjustment and renormalize accordingly to whatever hot dog stand, lemonade stand, Samoa Girl Scout system you have here for your strength, your charisma, your dexterity. And inside of that, like I said, you will start to begin to, over time, in theoretical virtual particles, if you do the math, if you have these kinds of mass gaps inside of your program, again, I'm going to go a lot heavier with you. This is the common model. It's hard not to see this gravity come up at spaces. Again, we'll just crack it out here. We could put things and say, well, an 8C from here in the vector position actually looks like a supernova in the back, photon, by whatever click, and in the conversation of that's what I'm trying to sell, to profit, to just avoid energy about in security defense stock. And eventually you're working your way to that loader right there. And then no matter whatever company I've ever been in, to a certain idea, it plays a virtual action at a spooky distance to the general store. Work 18 hours, what do you get? Another day older. And so that can marshmallow stock a lot of times. When you think about, well, I'm Big Daddy Warren Buffett, let's look at the floor model. How much am I in debt to this standard? How much am I doing it? And it's important to put numbers to this. Theoretical values are all off the floor, because then you'll have a general store or a log mill, board factory. We make the Ouija board here. You might not notice it, and it's probably not the main product, but that's usually one of the mom and pop cells that help you get into that system. Whatever your variance on that is, you might throw in. If you wanted to, again, the cosmic radiation background, NTF beginning would be blockchain, Bitcoin. This is your Charizard card, and we sell them here. We got an abundance of them. It comes up with a time thing and making videos, doing those things, setting them up. And again, yeah, NTF right here. We have a value that is different. So when you go to a certain location, that kind of changes that material over. And so in a photonic conversation like this, polarizing transitory cyclicals, somebody's bring up a reference at that table. And yes, in the way, it's pretty standard mechanics. That's what I have. I forgot my wallet, I'll come back tomorrow. As long as that NTF has credit over some kind of theoretical pressure, you say that that's the particle that you put in the bottle. That's no matter how you get it, because these would show a lot of similarities, again, of that action inverted from a square law. Now, again, it doesn't give me the answers. It doesn't tell me 42 is a general store or a pallet of cans, a pack of cans, 42, or something like that. But we can do those in the manuals. Again, we can catch out those values inside of there and say, well, at the Marabidos, in the overhead, there would be aisles before we just open up the door and let the space in. Thermodynamics in the Brownie factory that actually produce things that actually apply to that value. And so that was kind of one of my notes. I want to make sure I touched on the material. I'm sure there will be an Eulers-Ingalls angle there on it. And certainly you can Bernoulli's that stuff out. Again, let's go back to the graph. Did you graph it? That's a treasure chest, marshmallow treasure chest here in terms of, you see your name and something like that, that's what I'm selling. That's when I'm doing all this other stuff and coming across on that other tone for what it does. Again, just all upside down pineapple cake, 9-footer, 10-footer, whatever you're dealing with. To the Gunny Wife Nuva ring joke, and dark matter, dark space-time stuff here. That's why Shangri-La out there, because yes, I can do that, but in a way that I have to buy or sell some kind of calories on combos for Valentine Rabbits, dropping jelly beans around here on telling me it's Easter, or Christmas in July, Hanukkah, lighting the candles for the fifthest. You never know. SCP, man. Secure, contain, protect. That would be your foundation. And so underneath this, sure, the blueprint architect guy is, but I need it on service rotations. A lot of people do. Government does. That would be the line, come in, send me an OSHA guy. We have done this before, YF over X. That's what